So now let's say you're responding to a situation, okay? So they have an issue, they have a concern, you're trying to respond to the situation. So here are three components to keep in mind. Number one, active listening. So this is something we talked about earlier, right? So you want to make sure that you're listening to them and you're not just thinking about a response. You're listening to them and they should actually also feel that you have heard them. A way to do that is to explain to them that, hey, you know what? Okay, just to make sure I got this right, this is what's happening and this is how you're feeling. Okay, so that's something very important to understand. Okay, now the second component is to show empathy. That, look, you know, what you're feeling, I can understand that this must be hard. I can only imagine how hard this would be. And at the same time, you want to give them that hope that, okay, you know what, inshallah, things are going to get better. Let's discuss what we can do about this situation. And then you want to go into the next phase, which is empowerment. So when it comes to the empowerment phase, so this is again a definition of coach that we discussed earlier in a way that, like, you know, you're trying to help them achieve something, right? So you're helping them set goals, you're empowering them, you're making connections, and so on and so forth. So now in terms of empowerment, okay, so you want to discuss, okay, this is something that has happened to them. This is something that, this is how they're feeling. This is something that just happened. This is how, you know, someone in their family or friend has reacted or responded to them. Now the question is, what are our options to react? You know, so brainstorm ideas. You could use your own ideas. They can come up with a list of ideas as well. You know, don't hesitate to go to other people in the community. Again, Muslims or non-Muslims who may have, you know, options for them. And this could be work related. This could be emotions related, and so on and so forth. Okay. And then you can discuss the pros and cons of each option. Okay, and then obviously you want to achieve, you know, sometimes, you know, you can't achieve the best thing, so you may want to do the lesser of the two evils, right? We talked about some things earlier, right? You know, they may have some bad habits and they may not be ready to give them up. You know, they may have a girlfriend, they may have a boyfriend, whatever you're going to do about it, right? So again, lesser of two evils and focusing on the greater good. And then at the end, they make the decision. You can suggest, you can help them prioritize or do the pros and cons, but the suggestion, I mean, decision would be their own thing. Now, in terms of emotions or what have you, one key thing to kind of quick hack to remember is to differentiate between facts and story. Okay, so, you know, if they are saying, you know what, look, okay, I'm not good for anything, I cannot get a job, you know, nobody will marry me, whatever. So these are the stories, these are not facts. So you want to help them distinguish between facts and stories. So what is a fact? Well, I applied for this job and I did not get an interview. That's a fact. I applied for this job, I got an interview, and I did not get the job. Well, the question is like, how many jobs have you applied for? How many interviews have you gotten? Yeah, I just did one. Okay, so just based on that one, you're telling yourself the story that you're not good enough. Okay, so you want to make sure that their facts and the stories are separate, because you could have a set of facts and two different stories. Well, you know what? You haven't applied to enough jobs. Maybe the other candidate was better. You know, there could be so many different stories. So, you know, you want to help them see that they're telling them the wrong story. So the story is not the fact. Fact is an observation, and the story is what they're telling themselves. And that's why, you know, they are reacting in the way that they're reacting. And this could be in any situation. It could be with relationships. It could be with different, even from a deen perspective, right? Well, Allah doesn't love me. How do you know? Oh, because, you know, I lost the job. Really? Right? So again, you know, they're jumping on the thing. So you want to keep that fact and story separate. Okay, so here we have some case studies, okay, that you can utilize. Again, you know, if we had a longer session, in-person session, usually we try to brainstorm these things, but there's something to think about. And also I will link later recordings in which we go in a deeper study of these case studies. So you have 3 case studies here for you to think about. Or even, you know, if you have a partner, practice them. Use these 3 principles of active listening, empathy, hope, and then empowerment.